Hello guys, welcome to another video of Kubernetes. In this video, we are going to discuss about deployments in Kubernetes. We'll be seeing how we can create the deployments with YAML manifest file step by step, and we'll also see other different concepts about deployments. So let's begin the video. This is the agenda. We'll be discussing about basics of Kubernetes, what is Kubernetes deployment. We'll be understanding the deployments in detail, and at last we'll be seeing the YAML manifest structure, and we'll be discussing how we can create the structure manifest file and how we can deploy that step by step using kubectl commands. Okay, so this is just a brief introduction of Kubernetes deployment. Already have made a video about it. You can go and watch that, but this is just a YAML manifest explanation. So I will just briefly explain here. A deployment manages replica sets and pods. Okay, you can create the replica sets and pods inside the deployment. It defines the desired state for application management, scaling, and updating. Generally, if you are creating the deployment, you can manage your deployment efficiently. You can scale the deployment, you can update it, you can roll back that efficiently. Okay, deployment ensures the required number of pod replicas are running because we have will be also creating replica. Generally, we create replica sets as well inside the deployments, so it will make sure whatever replica we have specified in our YAML manifest file will always be running at any given time. Okay, they manage the rolling update of pods without downtime. Whenever you have to update your application, it will just update your application one by one. It will first basically it will update the application in a rolling update manner. In this case, your pods will be updated one by one. For example, if one pod is down, then another pod will get spin up, then only second pod will go down. Okay, so in this case, your application will be updated, so your application will never be down. Okay, deployment handles rollbacks in case of issues. You can roll back the application, your whatever you have deployed inside the Kubernetes efficiently and very easily, because this provides Kubernetes provides the feature of rollback, and you can roll back your application if you find issues in your updates or something like that. Okay, this is the YAML structure for the deployment. If you have created the replica set, this is also deployment YAML structure is also quite similar to the replica set, but there is some differences. I will explain that. Here in API version, we provide apps/v1, okay, for the deployment. And kind is of course deployment because we are creating the deployment. Whatever service you are creating or whatever component you are creating, you will have to provide that in kind. So in this case, we are creating the deployment. If you create the pod, provide pod. If you are creating replica set, provide the replica set. If you are creating the service, you can provide the service. Like this, anything you are creating, you will have to specify here in the kind. After that, you can provide the metadata. You can provide anything, but generally name is sufficient if you are creating the deployment. So my hyphen deployment is my deployment name. Whenever I will apply this manifest file, a deployment will be created with this name. Okay, and in the main block spec, we define the content of deployment. Okay, this is replicas, which is nothing but the replica set which will be created as part of this deployment of this pod, that is of I mean this container, my container, and which the which is nginx image is being used. Three replicas we have specified, so three replicas will be created, and in the selector match labels we have specified the match labels which we have used in our pod. Okay, so based on this match label and selector, our deployment will understand like this pod should be part of this particular deployment. So make sure you are specifying the match labels and selector carefully, whatever you are using inside your pod. If you see the template, this is the template for a pod. Okay. Here is the template and metadata. We have specified the metadata of the pod. After that, inside spec, we are creating the containers. That is nothing but the containers which are being created in this pod, which we have given name as my container, image is nginx, and this is export to port 80. Okay, so from here to here this template is being used is of the pod, and extra thing is selector and replicas. We have given three replicas and selector as app my app. So this deployment will check how many pods are having this app my app label. Based on that, it will add all those pods inside this deployment and inside this replica set. Okay, let's move ahead. If you want to deploy this YAML file which we have created for the deployment, this is the steps you can follow. First, create the YAML, something like this, like deployment.yaml, and you can apply the deployment with this command kubectl apply hyphen deployment.yaml. You can use the create as well, kubectl create command, if you are doing it for the first time. If you are doing it for more than one, or if you are updating your deployment, you will have to use kubectl apply hyphen app deployment.yaml. Okay, I already have made a video on differences between kubectl apply and kubectl create. If you need more details about it, you can go and watch that video. So we'll just run this command to create the deployment. Once deployment is created, you can run this command kubectl get deployments to check the deployments. You will be getting all the details about your deployment. If you need more details, you can write different commands as well, like kubectl deployment describe and your deployment name. After that, if you want to see the replica set as well, you can type kubectl get replica set, kubectl get pods. If you type kubectl get pods, all the pods which you have created as part of this deployment will be listed if you just run this command. And if you want to list the replica set, you can list the replica set as well with kubectl commands, which will be created as part of the deployment. So if you are creating one deployment, the resources will be created will be replica set and these pods. Okay, if you want to create different things as well like service and all, you can create them as well. Okay, this YAML structure I already just explained. Let me explain it again. The first one is API version, which will be giving the app/v1 for Kubernetes deployment. You can get the API version for any of the components directly in the Kubernetes official documentation as well. After that, we specify the kind, that is deployment, because this is what we are creating. If you want to create the different component, you will have to specify that in the kind. Replicas, will be specifying the replica, how many replicas we want to create for our pod. This is the number of pods replicas to be created. Selector, this will identify pods using labels which pod should be selected and which should be part of our replica set and deployment. Okay. And finally, in the template, we specify the pod specifications like container, images, ports, and whatever we can provide in the creation of pods for this deployment. What are the best practices we should follow if you are creating the deployment or if you are managing the deployments? Make sure you are using the correct labels and selectors to manage pods efficiently. If you are not correcting it or if you are not adding correct metadata, then you will not be able to work smoothly with the deployment. So make sure you are correcting that. Enable rolling updates for smooth transition. So make sure you are selecting the rolling updates as part of deployment strategy. If you are not selecting anything, then rolling updates is the default in Kubernetes. It will be automatically selected. Okay. So if you are selecting rolling updates, you can smoothly update the application or you can smoothly roll back as well, because in this rolling update feature all your deployments will happen in rolling update manner. That means if one pod is being destroyed, another pod will be created, then only second pod will go down. So in this manner your deployment will happen. You can monitor the deployment using kubectl rollout status. It will show you how your pods are being created, which pods are being destroyed, and all these things. Consider resource request and limits for container performance. You can specify inside your pod details, pod specifications, or for your nodes details, node specifications as well. Like how many, what should be the CPU this container should be using and all. So you can specify those pods specifications as well. Okay, let's recap the video. In this video, we discussed about Kubernetes deployment. We discussed how you can manage pods, you can scale the pods, you can update your application, and you can also roll back your application using the Kubernetes deployment. Okay. We also discussed the YAML structure of deployments with key fields like replicas and selectors and the spec and templates. Okay. If you are following all this strategy, of course, your deployment will happen efficiently and that will be reliable. You don't need to do anything. You can just use these commands or use this manifest file. You can store this in version control and you can use this to automate it, or you can use the same in your CI/CD pipeline as well. If you want to do it from your local, you can do it from there as well. So these are some of the, if you are watching my videos, generally you will be covering all the interview questions or on Kubernetes as well. Generally, these are the questions people or interviewer ask in the interviews. Okay, mostly they will ask about Kubernetes basics, about deployment, services, and all. Okay, that's it from this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe my channel. If you have any feedback or suggestions for my videos, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.